So let's talk about the music in Final Fantasy XIII-2, for better or worse. As you can hear, although it's kind of going at double speed right now, it's got some pretty decent instrumental stuff. But then it also has the lyrical stuff.
Are you suggesting that Final Fantasy XIII-2's lyrical tracks are not amazing?
For the most part, yes, that is what I am suggesting. I will readily grant that there is a tiny subset of XIII-2's lyrical tracks that are amazing, but we haven't heard any of them yet.
No, that song is unfortunately still, I think, a couple chapters away, actually.
Rejecting the easy path, humanity has chosen
So yeah, we've got these little narration things. Like, who is this supposed to be who's speaking?
I have absolutely no idea. Like, it isn't even like this, like, oh, this is lightning. No, this is just a disembodied voice telling us about the time period we're about to enter.
Like, I think it's entirely possible that it isn't actually anyone. So yeah, this is a loading screen.
Oh, this is a loading screen, yes. That loading screen is about 20 or 30 seconds long.
Fortunately, it's interactive.
It is. You can use the right stick to kind of spin it around.
It's quite engrossing.
As we gaze upon events,
So yeah, remember this place?
our hearts grow.
Well, the last time we were here, it was covered in crystals.
Will you encounter?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember this place at all.
How will you choose to deal with that?
Yeah, I think this is, if not, it's kind of implied that if it's not the exact same place, it's very similar to the Lake Brescia ruins in Final Fantasy XIII.
Also, that was some frame rate.
Yeah, that happens. Fortunately, the rest of pretty much it was behaving when I recorded this, so pretty much everything else should be a pretty steady 30.
What have you done to Mog?
Oh, Mog, right, see, Sarah and Noel are not the only ones that have costumes.
You can see the ground above us.
I can see that.
So yeah, basically what I'm going to pretty much be doing is, at the start of every recording session, I'm just going to randomly change everybody's costumes and just go down to the next one on Mog's list. Because Mog has a lot of them.
Right.
Also, that is a giant robot hand.
What is that?
It appears to be just a giant robot hand. Of course,
Well, there's clearly something there.
you can kind of see the invisible robot, which somewhat defeats the point of it being an invisible robot, but what are you gonna do?
An arc?
Yeah, and not looking to shake hands, I'm guessing.
Writing.
Good job, Noel.
Somewhere in here there is a brilliant Wonderful 101 related joke, but it's not coming to me.
What the fuck is that pose supposed to be, Sarah?
I'm sure it's supposed to be very inspiring.
Alright, so we're gonna fight a hand now.
Yeah. Anything interesting to say about the hand?
Well, the game is going to, as the game is going to point out here, this is the introduction of wounds. Wounds are a permanent, well, not permanent, but at least as far as the battle is concerned, it is a permanent loss of max HP. So as you can see, our HP bar does not go the full length anymore, even if we had a medic to heal it up or we used a potion.
You can actually see on the meter that the red part doesn't go all the way to the end of the meter. So you get a handy visual reference for how wounded you are.
Yeah, there are wound potions which can cure it during battle, but otherwise that is the only way of dealing with it. And really the only thing you can do is try to finish the battle faster so you don't have to deal with having much less HP.
Now, for all of that talk, they're really not really a very big concern, because most enemies don't employ anywhere near enough of them for them to actually get to the point where they're a threat, and the ones that do, you can just use one item that has no charge up and instantly get rid of all of it. So that's a waste of a game mechanic.
It's an okay idea. The implementation leaves quite a bit to be desired, though.
You can say that about most things in Final Fantasy XIII-2.
Also, way to go, Noel, you smacked the giant robot in its invisible face.
Oh look, they noticed!
And that staggered it somehow, okay.
I guess this must be one of those plot gameplay things. I don't know. So yeah, it took a whole 3 health off of your max HP. This... Oh, I guess you might as well just restart now, huh?
You also might have noticed that because of that first QuickTime event, we also got a free Bravery and Faith. That is a thing that sometimes happens with these big boss and the QTEs.
Like, most of them aren't it's not like press X to not die or anything, it's just press X to get some cool stuff. And to get valuable completion-related things that will get you the true ending.
Also, a purpose of nothing, the drinking word for this chapter is paradox.
Well, I might as well just cut out my liver now then. I love that they made all these great cinematic action scenes with explosions and stuff, and even then it's still just numbers coming out of everything.
Yep. That giant laser did maybe 3 times the damage that we were doing. You really built them good there, boys.
Speaking of getting stuff for pressing buttons, you'll notice that we got an item for doing all the stuff in that battle perfectly.
Exciting.
Guess it's over.
So I guess that's an incentive.
It's the army!
Friends of yours?
So,
Yeah, friends of ours, definitely.
yeah,
Attention intruders! Surrender immediately!
very friendly. I can't wait to see where this goes. Can it go nowhere?
Well, we're live.
Oh hey, this looks like they actually made something playable and then forgot to make it in any way interesting. I guess that's why they put that live thing there, so that we can remember that it's interesting.
Being detained as potential suspects in the unsanctioned activation of Atlas. Come with me, and no funny business.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense, as in a whole bunch of weird stuff goes down, and then these random people just show up with no explanation for why they're there or who they are. I mean, we talk some shit about the army in this series, but I think we got to give them this one.
Yeah, they pulled a good one here. We had some weird dudes showed up. All of a sudden, the robot activated. Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. I would detain the weird people who suddenly came out of nowhere.
No idea. I was gonna ask you the same question.
Oh boy.
Must be a pretty new organization.
Oh, the Academy. That's another drinking word, but that will be for much later in the game.
And I don't think they use the Academy anywhere near as obnoxiously as they use Paradox.
They'll drag the truth out of you.
You're going with B, right? Yeah.
When do we eat?
You think this is some kind of joke, hotshot?
Man, Noel is just legitimately hungry, and this guy's being a dick.
So you two came up on the grand elevator?
The grand what?
So yeah,
What's he talking
I guess Cocoon didn't really get as destroyed as we were want to believe that it was.
Still being built. It's going to be finished next year.
Yeah, I think the implication is basically that, the Foul Sea all basically got shut down, but the actual, buildings and everything, that's all still there. For the most part. Eden's probably in pretty rough shape, but that's
Could
not
my
that big of a
memory be
deal.
messed up somehow?
With like,
Sarah.
the thing fell down, and this was supposed to cause everybody to die,
This must be the world of the future.
but it fucked it up enough that everyone had to leave, but not enough that it caused so much damage that
Watch yourself.
something crystals.
It is you!
Alright, so who the fuck is this, and why does she know Sarah?
I don't know, but I'm sure the answer is going to involve a whole lot of plot bullshit.
I heard you apprehended our 2 observers, so here I am.
Observers.
Yes, they're invited guests of the Academy. I was showing them around and forgot to give them their communication.
Well, this is airtight.
These guys.
Definitely. I can't think of any way that they could confirm this and, you know, call her out on her bullshit.
I hope we can forget about
Nope.
this little mix-up.
Well, I guess we're back to talking shit about the army then.
Strange world, stranger events, unfamiliar faces, an uncertain future.
Welcome to Final Fantasy XIII-2.
Anomalies of a strange energy that warps time itself. Things that shouldn't exist here are appearing near the gates.
So,
Things that shouldn't happen are happening.
yeah,
They call this phenomenon the paradox effect.
get ready to hear a lot about
That
this.
could apply to our existence in this age as well. Lightning, how will I find you when I don't even know when or where I'll end up next?
So, a lot of stories like this need their one universal fallback that they can use to explain every single bullshit thing that they do that makes absolutely no sense.
I was just wondering.
You know, stuff like the Mass Effect in Mass Effect.
Sorry about all that.
But here we've got the paradox effect.
For us, that soldier was so quick.
And oh lord, will we be hearing all about the paradox effect.
I mean, basically anything that's even slightly unusual is because of a, quote, paradox, unquote.
I told you that was a cover. I'm just a trainee looking to make it big.
Some of them grudgingly make sense. I mean, we do have, for example, the whole giant robot thing that activated on its own. That's almost a legitimate use of this whole thing.
Well, it's like, yeah, they start out pretty okay. As in, you know, we're doing this, like, time travel, world hopping bullshit. And it's, you know, and we're introducing things into timelines that weren't there and generally messing with stuff. So, you know, it seems sensible that they should have some sort of thing in the plot that gives this effect consequences. So, it starts off with paradoxes being, you know, almost a thing that makes sense, and it very quickly stops being that.
Yeah, before it's all said and done, we will be seeing paradoxes, and I'm using that word very loosely, that are literally just like orange tornadoes in the middle of the road. That's it. That's what the paradox will be.
Or it will just be a random creature that appears that you kill. And I'm pretty sure that at some point there's going to be paradox weaponry. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's something, alright.
I mean, not as part of the plot or anything. I think it's just some, like, equipable stuff that you get. They need to explain why it's the ultimate weapon, so it's like, yeah, paradoxes. So what the fuck are we doing? We got busted.
We're just kind of looking around.
So all the soldiers who arrested us,
Yeah, no, they don't care.
and nobody's checking the story because, you know, maybe the reason that they're not all trying to kill us is because Alyssa told everyone. But then, would nobody be checking up her bullshit?
Are you suggesting that the army is following up on this? Because I think we have an entire game's worth of evidence to say that that SciComm and the Army in general are not the brightest bulbs in the box.
Point.
I don't do mud,
It's a point.
Something here, Kupo.
So one quick thing we did get while we were exploring, you saw we got a gate seal. This allows us, if we so choose, to basically reset a time period. So if we wanted to go back to New Bodom 3AF, we could use the gate seal and it would totally reset it, and we would go into it like it was the first time we had gone there.
Yeah.
It can be used to replay conversations or get things that, you know, you'd missed the first time around.
It basically means that there are no missable things in this game. And that's kind of a good idea that I can respect. Like, I can get behind that.
But you still have questions.
And it's like, and it's almost as though it's kind of justified in the plot, because it's like time travel when they're going through gates and, like, I don't know, it's not that well thought out, but, you know, fuck it, it's a good idea from a gameplay sense.
It's a good idea from a gameplay sense, and it's not totally bullshit as far as the justification goes, so yeah, good enough.
If only there were more good ideas from a gameplay sense in this game.
Alright, so there's one other person we need to go meet real quick.
Neither rain nor giants can bring me down.
Oh, fuck me.
What the fuck are you?
I don't know, but I'm sure she's going to tell us all about it.
Welcome, get your traveling products here at Chocolina's Emporium. The beauty's all mine, but the products can be yours, but only if you show me the money. This might be a once-in-a-lifetime choco-amazing opportunity, so don't miss out.
Hi there. I'm a little overwhelmed and slightly confused, to be honest. So you run a shop?
Wow, that was almost an understandable reaction.
Yeah. So yeah, Chocolina is the shop, and she has everything.
It's like, remember how a bunch of people complained about a thing in Final Fantasy XIII where the only place that you could shop was at save points? Well, Square Enix have heard your concerns and have addressed them. So now the only place you can shop is at Chocolina's.
Her inventory will expand as we get further in the game, but for now, really the only thing she has for us right now is a quick weapon upgrade.
Unfortunately, her inventory will expand, but she won't get any less Chocolina. So, that's a minus.
Yeah, well, there's only so much you can ask for here.
Yeah, I want to know what the hell justification they had for coming up with this. And, like, they play it completely straight. It's bizarre.